Hi, welcome to Making All the Plans. I'm Connie, and if we haven't met before, I'm a busy mom of 2 active kids, and both my husband and I have full-time careers. My goal is to share with you how I stay on top of all life throws at me in one planner so that you might be able to do the same. So today I am starting out with just a blank sheet of paper, and I am going to brainstorm my goals. I also have my planner next to me so I can flip through and look at last year's goals, as well as some things that I've just jotted down in random places about the goals that I want to incorporate this coming year. So I'm just going to brain dump it all, and I am going to focus on the different areas of my life: personal, spiritual, health and wellness, family and friends, financial, passion, household, and work. And I'm just going to put it all on one page, and let's see where we get. I will speed this up so that you don't have to watch me write in real time, and then I'll do some voiceover, and let's just see what comes out of my brain right now, and if I feel like there are any gaps or if I'm overdoing it, and then I can figure out what kind of trackers I want to use for the upcoming year. I will say that I am using a Friction 0.5 erasable pen. I also have the Friction erasable highlighter. Not sure that I'll use this, but I wanted to go ahead and pull it. I'm sticking with the blues and the blacks. I also have my new Uniball 1 pen. And just in case, my white Uniball Signo in 1.0. And then I have a mild liner. This is, not sure if the color is on here or not. This is the highlighter in blue. And then I also have the mild liner highlighter in gray. And then I have 2 Muji 0.38s. One is in black and the other is light blue. And then I have an erasable Friction 0.7, and I'm not sure what color this is, but I do know that there is at least one darker blue, so I'm pretty sure this is the light blue. And then I have my gray dual tip dot marker from Shuttle Art. And this, I have not found a color on these, but it is I'm pretty sure this is the lighter gray. And then I just have a 6-inch ruler just in case. I know I'm bad at drawing straight lines, so let me just go ahead and get started. And I am going to go ahead and speed this up and do a little voiceover. It just takes me a long time to write, and this isn't super pretty necessarily, but I did want to take my time, make sure I spelled things right, think through my goals. So the first thing I did was just write goals, and I did write it over to the right hand side. So if I'm just flipping through the pages in my planner, that's kind of over on the edge and I can see it easily. I'm thinking I will do a sheet like this for each month. It won't be full like my yearly goals, but I am thinking that I will break down these goals into smaller tasks throughout each month so that I am not overwhelmed by all of my goals. I can just look at those goals for the month. But I thought if I put goals over here on the right side of the page, that as I'm flipping through my goals section, I would know that these are this year's goals. I don't have a plan for the layout for my monthly goals yet. I will do that here shortly, but I did just want to have a little fun. I didn't want to just type up my goals. Instead, I wanted to make them a little personal. So I am using my Muji 0.38 to write the different areas, and those areas are personal, spiritual, health and wellness, friends and family, financial, household, passion, and professional. And I am writing it in the Muji 0.38 so I don't accidentally erase them if I need to erase other things on this page. If I start filling out this page and everything is erasable on the page, it does make it a little more difficult to get a section that you want to erase. And then I'm just going through and outlining those boxes and writing gray over top. I'm not really working on making it look like a shadow. I just want to make it a little bit more bold than without that. And I'm not sure you can even tell that I'm doing it, but I'm just using the pin point on my dot markers. It also makes this page look a little bit messy, which is kind of what I'm going for because I don't want this to be perfect. I don't want to stress about making it perfect. I want it to be functional and look pretty. So after I get this done, I am going to start writing in my goals. And as you can see, I do not switch from my Muji 0.38, even though I had planned on switching to my Friction. So this first goal will be in permanent ink. So thankfully I did not mess it up as I was writing it out. The first goal is to incorporate prayer and scripture into daily routines. And I'm doing this by updating my routines as well as having a separate section where I can actually incorporate my prayer of each week as well as some daily scripture writings. My second goal in this section is to continue the Bible in a Year podcast with Father Mike. I did finish it once this year, but I did want to go through it a second time. For health and wellness, they are quit soda, which that's going to be hard for me. Daily exercise and movement, which as long as I get up and work out in the morning, even though it's hard to get up, I love how I feel the rest of the day. But hopefully I can get back into that. Healthier meal choices, which for me means making sure I have more vegetables in my diet and less fast food. Incorporate important supplements, and I'm not sure which supplements I'm going to start with, but I completely stopped taking supplements, so I want to add those back in. And the last one is to lose weight, and I don't necessarily have a specific number that I'm aiming for, but I do need to lose weight, build my energy, and just feel better about myself again. Now I'm going to switch over to the personal section, and I alluded to the fact that I need to build routines, get up early in the morning, but that also includes working out at a regular time, spending time in my planner, laundry routines, cleaning routines, all of those things. I really need to get back into that. I need to make more time for my hobbies and continuing travel, especially more with my family. So I've been taking a lot of trips with my bestie, and I have also done some family trips, but I would love to continue that in 2024. And then I just wanted to make a note of the things that I'm focusing on for my hobbies so they are front and center, and that is scrapbooking more, reading, and photo maintenance. And even though photo maintenance can be looked at as a chore, I really want to go through it because I want to make sure that I have those pictures that I want to scrapbook readily available. So I'm looking at it that way. It will be a chore a little bit because I also need to figure out what I'm going to do with all of the videos that I have recorded throughout the last 2 years. Then I'm going to move on to friends and family, and I definitely want to get a professional photo shoot for my family this year. I meant to do it this year and we didn't, and I ended up using a picture from a vacation that we took for our Christmas card, which is fine, except next year I definitely want a professional picture. We don't have very many years left when the kids are in the house, so I would like to make sure to get that done. Then I would like to pick someone random to send a weekly message to. I want to continue spending time with my husband, and I want to reach out to my friends and family on their birthdays. And I was really good about that a couple years ago, and I liked it. It really helped me reconnect with people, so I would like to do that again this year. The next goal area is financial, and I don't really talk a lot about this on the channel, but I don't consider myself an expert, so I do want to learn more this year. But my goals are to invest and put our money to work. The market is a completely different place than it was even 5 years ago, so I just need to figure out what I want to do with our money. I want to make sure we have a will in place. I want to pick books that focus on finances and investments. I was really good about reading a lot of books this year, but I did not read a single book on finances. So I'd like to do that, or I would like to re-listen to the Susie Orman book. And I do have a couple books in my stash or on my shelf that I have for finances that I just haven't written yet. And then the other one is to try to come up with a financial plan to get our vacation or our retirement home. This is in the very, very, very far future, but eventually when the kids are out of the house and we retire, it would be nice to either move to a ranch or move somewhere warm or whatever we happen to decide. But it would be nice to have the financial plan in place now when we decide to do that in the future. So my passion really is this YouTube channel and sharing ideas and things that have worked for me and haven't worked for me with you, but I want to start focusing on functional planning and not just the decorating part. I want to step up my branding. I want to spend time weekly on passion development. I am taking a masterclass, so that will take up a good chunk of time. I want to increase my YouTube subscribers, and I want to be more consistent posting on YouTube as well as Instagram, especially Instagram. I have been really bad about posting on Instagram regularly. So for my professional career, I would like to continue professional development and start carving out time weekly, even if it's just a little bit of time. I have been doing it in spurts, and I would really like to be more consistent instead of doing like a solid month worth of professional development. I'd like to do it more consistently throughout the year. And another goal that I had last year was focusing on work during work, and I was pretty good about that until someone else distracted me, so I really need to try to rein it back in and have less hallway conversations, which has been really hard during our hybrid work schedule because you only get 2 days to talk to people, and we do talk to people a lot. And then I jump back to professional development, and I really want to come up with a plan for getting my certifications. So that and the professional development are related. And then I'm jumping back to be more on top of things like I used to be, don't let others derail me. And I think this is a consequence of the hybrid work method again. So it's just I have to figure out a way to overcome it. Then for household, I want to conquer my fear of contractors. I struggle calling people because I'm so afraid of contractors. I want to map out a recurring maintenance schedule and when it needs completed. And then I have a few big projects that I have to finish this year, and that is the driveway and the back door. The other one, the basement, I hope we can really get it done this year, because if we don't get it done soon, it will feel kind of like a waste since the kids may be gone. Then I decided that I wanted to write my hobbies in a little bit darker, so I did go ahead and write that over top of the gray I had already written. So I have a lot going on here, and I think I'm going to do one more thing before we talk through it, and that is adding my why to each of these areas. I just feel like if I have my why written out, then it really helps me to focus and to remember that these aren't just to-dos. They really are things that I want out of life and not just the things that other people tell you you should be doing. So let me go ahead and write those in real quick. And I am going to continue to use erasable pen. I did write one that is not erasable. Thankfully, I didn't misspell, but it's much easier to just erase with these friction erase pens. This is the eraser for these, than it is to try to use your Signo to white out over top of it. So I do really like my erasable friction pens. So my why for health and wellness is I want to have more energy and less weight holding me back. And really, this whole focus is about my energy level, but I do know that in order to increase my energy, I need to decrease my weight and increase my movement, my vegetable intake, things like that. For my spiritual, my why is to be closer to God and closer to myself. I definitely feel like through the spiritual journey that I've been taking, I definitely feel like I have refound myself, so I am really liking that. For personal, my why is I just crave the focus and routine, and I'm missing it greatly. I was much more successful in every area of life when I did focus on my routine. So for family and friends, my why is to show my loved ones how much I care before it's too late. I will say that I have very large families on all sides, and they are not getting younger, and I really don't want to miss being able to connect with them before they're gone. My financial why is to ensure we are ready for whatever life throws at us, within reason, of course. My passion why is to share my journey and help others find ways to manage their lives. And it's not that I am perfect at it, clearly, but I do want to share my journey with you. My professional why is to have a purpose and not just punch a clock, which it kind of feels like that lately. And then my household why is to love my home and not be stressed by it. And I'd also like to include in that to set good examples for my kids. So now I am debating whether I'm going to try to find some stickers to fill in some empty spots or if I'm going to try to doodle. I'm really bad at doodling, but I did flip through some sticker books and I didn't really find anything that was quite the right size and the right coloring. So I guess I should try to do a little bit of doodling. Maybe something here, down here, here, and then here. The next question is, what do I even doodle? So maybe I will try, and I'm giggling because again, I am not the best doodler, but maybe I will try to draw a camera here. And again, this is erasable pen, so if all else fails, I can erase it, cover it up with a sticker. Yeah, but I'm going to give it a shot. It makes me just a little nervous because normally I would do the doodling beforehand in case I did mess it up and then I could just start all over, but I don't really want to write all this again. So hopefully I can pull this off. So as I listen to this video and I start the voiceover work on it, I am realizing that I really need to stop being so down on myself and so negative about what I can and can't do. It is not that I can't doodle. I can doodle. I just need to practice at it. Just like everything in life, if you don't do it frequently enough and if you don't practice at it, you can't keep those skills up and you can't improve. So I think I need to add a goal about my mindset in my personal area for this year. I did decide to put some shading on this camera, but one downside to it is I am using non-erasable ink at this point, so I'm really taking a chance on it turning out. The next question was whether or not I wanted to add a little bit of color other than the blue into my spread. But I did decide that I wanted to put the sun in, and I am going to get one of my zig pens out that I use for scrapbooking and just outline the sun. I don't want to color it in and bring too much attention to it, but I did want to just outline it and the rays. But so far I like the camera and I like the sunshine. So for the goals, I wanted to put something that was goal related, but I didn't think I had enough room for a medal or a trophy. So instead I decided to draw a crown. I really had to think of something that was pretty simple to draw. I'm trying to keep the doodling complexity to a minimum, so I did just go with a crown here because I thought I could draw it fairly easily. It does look a little misshapen, but I think it's good. I'll go with it. So I just drew in a simple crown and then I tried to figure out what else I needed to do here. I thought about like drawing a second line down there, but I didn't think that was going to work. But I did want to put the background pointy things in the background, and then I drew little like gems. But I am glad that I am using this erasable pen here. I could have also written it in a pencil and then drawn over it, but I really wanted to just get it down and not have to worry about erasing pencil marks. And then I did go back and trace over the outline with yellow so that it just kind of looks like it's golden. I do think it turned out pretty good. Maybe a little bit out of proportion, but I do like it. And then the next area that I want to put something is down below the goals section and above the passion area. So I wanted it to be passion related. So I thought about doing a YouTube icon.
And I would share this in real time, but I sped this up 2.5 times, and I deleted a lot of time where I was just sitting and staring at the page, trying to figure out what I wanted to do next. So there was a lot of time put into this and a lot of thought. This was recorded on a day where my family was out of town, so I had plenty of time to be creative and to really think through these goals. I do wish I had thought through this YouTube icon a little bit more because I really don't like how bold it is on the page. So I'm just trying to grunge it up a little bit, make it look like it actually belongs on the page. So I do go back up to the camera and add a little red to it. I thought I could make it look more like a Kodak camera. Remember those disposable ones? So I thought if I could add a little bit of red here, I could have added a little yellow too, but I really thought that just a little red would be okay. And I do like the red on the camera. I think the reason why I don't like the YouTube red button is because it is so bold and it did bleed to the back of the page. So I'm glad that I'm not planning on putting anything on the back, but I'm trying to just clean up the button look a little bit with the thinner edge. And I wish I had just gone in with a thinner edge to start with. But this does help clean it up a little bit and make me feel a little bit better about it. And then I'm also going to go back in and put a little shading on it, also hoping to make it kind of blend in and not be like, hey, I'm red, and have it so like in my face every time I look at this page, although it is a big focus of my goals right now. But I do think that the gray helps kind of tone it down a little bit and make it fit into the page a little bit more. I also feel like I need to add a little bit more red somewhere else, which is why I decided to put a little house in the bottom left-hand corner, which the house fits, but I decided to put a little bit of red on it in order to make it blend in with the rest of the page and maybe spread the red out a little bit. I do think now that I'm looking at it that I should add some yellow down towards the bottom. So maybe at some point this year I will put in a little bit of yellow in the bottom right hand corner. We'll see. I guess I'm not that stressed out about it, but if I were looking at this from a design standpoint, I would definitely put some more yellow in down at the bottom.
I like it enough to put it in my planner, and I am very proud that I did not type this out. A lot of times I will write something like this out and then I'll type it up to put it in my planner, but I really want to embrace my handwriting, as well as I really like putting stuff like this in my planner. I don't want everything to be typed, so I may end up typing some of this stuff up just to have in my Notion and to make notes on it. I don't think I'll transfer it all into Notion. So now that we have this, let's figure out what trackers we need, what trackers I have, what trackers I need to make. Or my favorite junk notebook. I have all kinds of things just tucked away in here. And then again, I like to scribble things down and then I end up typing them up and putting them in Notion, especially things that I need longer term. If I wrote everything in this notebook, I would be changing notebooks frequently, and then I wouldn't have what I needed long term. Okay, so what do I need tracker-wise? And I may need to get a darker pen since this, I feel like this is just brighter and bolder, and so you'll be able to read it over the grid paper better. So really, routines. My routines I've already completed. I did that in my last planning setup video. I will link to that. It was part 2 for 2024. And then along with this personal area and the routines, I also have 24 books in 2024. So my hobbies, 24 books in 2024. 24 scrapbooking pages, and photo maintenance, which that was in part 1 of 2024. I've already put that into my planner. And then I feel like I might need a tracker for this random weekly message. Partly because I don't want to send a message to the same person over and over again. I would like to spread the love. So a tracker for that would be good. I also think that I am going to go ahead and put a list of birthdays back in my planner. I had a list of birthdays in my planner last year, but I wasn't sure if I was going to carry it over. I was thinking about relying on Google Calendar or Facebook to remind me, but I think I should probably put the birthdays in my planner. Also, in part 2, I showed my spiritual layout for the week. I also would like to have a tracker for my Bible in a year, 365 days. Last year, I just had the whole sheet from Ascension printed out and I would highlight, but I really didn't want that many pages in my planner. So literally, I just have numbers 1 through 365, as well as the little intros that they do before each section so that I can color those in. And I think it's 2 or 3 pages. So I did make this, but I still haven't put it in my planner yet. For health and wellness, I'm still struggling on this because I'm not sure if I want to set a specific weight goal or if I just want to focus on getting healthier. So I think I am going to just try to focus on getting healthier. And then if that doesn't work, I will set a specific weight goal. But in addition to the workouts that I want to track for the month, I do want to have an overview of all of my stats. So a health stats tracker. I also want to have a running tracker, and an exercise tracker. That was spelled wrong, but I'll get my gist. So a health stats tracker just for all my measurements and whatnot, so that I can track them throughout the year. And it would all be on one sheet so I could look at it over the whole year view. A running tracker to see how many miles I run this year. I didn't even track this year because I didn't do very well. I think a couple years ago I ran maybe 700 miles. So I would like to get, I don't know, maybe 500 miles. And then for exercise tracker, I just want one of those daily checkoffs where you color in the day, like I'm assuming I can find one that has like the January, and then you color in the box for each day that you exercise. So something like that. And my supplements are in with my routine, so that's okay. I try not to have too many trackers. I'm already feeling a little overwhelmed with this list here. So we may have to pick and choose which ones we actually put in the planner. So financial, I have a financial section, which I shared a little bit of the budget area, but I need to dive into that more personally. I probably won't be sharing that on the channel. Passion, I have a whole making all the plans section. I don't think I need to add anything, but that was in my part 1 setup for 2024 if you want to check that out. Professional, again, this will probably be something on the side. I may or may not share it, but really I want to just set up a plan for getting my certifications and getting in that professional development. But I'm well on my way. I do need to schedule some exams, and I've never taken a professional certification exam, so I'd like to take one just to see how bad it is and then plan from there. So the household, this reoccurring maintenance stuff, this is something that I will do soon, but it is not something that I am going to tackle before the first of the year. The only other part of household that I have been debating is whether I need to have a calendar of what I'm decluttering. I don't think I did much decluttering in 2023. I was big on 2021 and 22 in decluttering, but now I've kind of slowed down and I really need to get back to that, especially cleaning out the basement. But some of that is up here in this routines area, but I may have to revisit this household section and just being more intentional about scheduling time to declutter. So let's pull these trackers together. I think I have some of them ready to go, but others I don't have. So let me just see what I have and what we can use just to make it work. Okay, so here's a big pile of just stuff that I've had sitting at my desk for probably a month or so now. I did put this health tracker together. These are all the things that my scale measures. So I think I'm going to keep this. 128.8 is not my goal. 144.6 would be my ideal goal weight. My main focus is energy level and just being healthy and feeling better. On this side, these are actually measurements that I would take, and I think I'll put it in my planner, but I will put this side on the, I guess the most prominent side, the upside, because I am not sure how often I will actually do all these things. I would like to definitely do it, at least these measurements, in January, just to see, but I cannot see me taking the time to do this every month. I did put this together, but I think I was a little overzealous with the trackers. And I'm okay with having some trackers that I end up not using. It's okay. Here's the Bible in a year. This is definitely going in. And again, I just have like the intro for each section and then the numbers 1 through 365. And hopefully I counted this all right. But instead of having, I think it was 3 or 4 pages double-sided in my planner for Bible in a year, now I just have this one sheet. So it will help me just focus on what section that I'm in and if I am on track or not. 24 layouts in 2024. I think this will work. There's 12 on each side. What the theme or the title of the page was, the date, and then whether or not it goes into Ben or Kenzie's scrapbook. So I can color off those and then make notes there. I think that'll work. And this is the health tracker that I'm glad I've printed out. I wasn't sure if I had printed it out, and sometimes this is hard to find. It has a place to put your starting weight, and then 1 through however many days there are, 1 through 31. There is not a 29 for February, so maybe I will just draw in like a shadow here or something. But yeah, I think this tracker will work, and this for me is exercise and movement for the day. Usually I base it upon whether or not I close my exercise ring on my Apple Watch. And this is my running tracker. Normally I can find like a gym shoe or something. I could not find it before. I might look again. But these are 500 circles. So this is only 400 miles. Now, do I want to redo it? Not really. And with how my foot is, I think I'd be happy with 400 miles. Or I will print out another sheet if I get over 400 miles. Okay, we'll go with that. Health tracking yearly. Yeah, I'm not going to use that for this. This is, I'm pretty sure, a printable that I purchased off of Squared Plans. Pretty sure. Let's use this to note, nope. I was going to say let's use this to note who I reach out to, but I don't know that I want to do that. Maybe I can put birthdays. Let's try that. Let's try putting birthdays on here. I am a little bummed at how I printed it. But let's go ahead and try birthdays on here. And if that doesn't work, I will go back to just printing them out in one sheet. But yeah, I'm going to try birthdays on this. But let me grab a Post-it and note what I'm going to use it for. Birthdays. And then I have the book tracker, and this is a Passion Planner printable. I did print 2 of them. Oh, this is the other Passion Planner printable for book trackers. And on this sheet, I did change it a little bit. I wanted the back to be the books that I wanted to read. So priority, title, author, and genre, but I did just use Passion Planner's layout. And there are more than 24 books on this, but I wouldn't be surprised if I do more than 24. I've been doing a lot of audiobooks, so that makes it much easier to reach my goal. These are all, this is a test run of the vertical. Okay, so the other thing that I had printed out goals-wise are these review sheets and individual goals for each month. And I think I'm going to pass on these, and it just didn't work last year. Sorry, I have just a pile of random papers. A lot of things that I was using for inspiration, but yeah, a lot of things that can just get thrown away at this point. I just need to go through them. So these will be my trackers. So we have the 24 books, the scrapbooking pages. I need to figure out a way to note my random messages. Although maybe I will go ahead and use, I think I'll use this for birthdays and random messages. Maybe I'll just write the random messages or who I sent the random messages to in a different color. So I think that'll work. That will save me a sheet. List of birthdays, tracker Bible, got that. Health stats, running tracker, exercise tracker, and then reoccurring. So yeah, the reoccurring maintenance is the only one that I have left. I'm actually surprised I had all those done. But let's go ahead and get them in the planner. So I'm just going to use my big Happy Planner punch and go ahead and punch these and get them in. I am going to put this, I'm going to leave this tag on so I remember to go back and actually fill these out. But I am going to go ahead and leave this in the trackers section and not in the reference section where my birthday wishes are. I may pull my birthday wishes up to here, but I want to make sure that I'm actually touching this as much as I should be. So I am going to leave that in this area. Let's see. And my Happy Planner punch will do about 3 sheets at a time before it gets unhappy. And my family is gone today, so I am able to plan in my office, which is also the loft, which is also my son's gaming area. So it can get a little noisy. Okay, so I showed this in part 2, and I do want to kind of put things in the same order as they are in here. So my prayer goes first. This goes in section. So prayer. And then exercise. And my book tracker. I feel like this should go first because it's daily. So is this one. These two should be first because they are daily. But I will work out first thing in the morning, so that is the first thing I will do. This tracking part would be done later. and it's only monthly. So these are daily. This is monthly. This is randomly. The birthday messages will be monthly. I'll move them to my monthly calendar as we go throughout the year. Randomly and randomly. Okay, and then my goals will go in the goals section. And I think I moved apparently I didn't have a trackers. Oh, there it is. I've also debated on whether I like to just see this up front or if I actually want this to say trackers. But for now, I will leave it like this. And if I decide that I want to see this first page, I will just take this divider or this section pretty page out. And then again with the goals, I'm kind of thinking I don't want this page. I just want it to go straight to my goals. I don't know. Again, for now, I will leave it that way, but I would not be surprised if I end up taking both the goals and the trackers out. Okay. So this is my planner setup for 2024. If you missed part 1 or part 2, please feel free to go back and watch those as you have time. I am very excited about my setup. I'm really excited about jumping into this year, no holding back, just getting right into things, getting things done. Last year was a bit of a rough year. Actually, ever since COVID, it's been a little rough, but I am ready to move on and get back to where I was before COVID. It is time to refocus on the things that I think are important. I would love to hear what goals you've set for this year. If you want to share some with me, I would love to see them. I know that we're all unique and we all have different battles that we're fighting. So best wishes to everyone achieving their goals in 2024. I can't wait to see what the year holds. I hope everyone has a great start to their 2024, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.